Welcome to Happy Camper Web Hosting. This video tour will show you the basics of how to navigate your Happy Camper web hosting account. Let's start with the email that you received that has your initial login information. The big email that you received with the subject New Account Information has all the technical details for accessing your new account. At the top, you have New Account Information, which shows your domain, payment, billing cycle, and when your next bill is due. Your client area login details get you into your client area where you can access billing information, domain registration information. This is your Plesk Control Panel login information. The control panel is where you set up technical things like installing a new WordPress site or setting up email accounts. I'll show you more about that in a minute. Your WordPress information. WordPress is automatically installed, and so your username and password are generated for you. These steps show you how to access that. Later in this video, I'll show you what that looks like. This is your name server information. Name servers identify your domain's location on the internet, so it tells all the computers around the world where to find your website. If you registered a new domain name with us or are transferring your domain to Happy Camper, you won't need this name server information. It's only if you have an existing domain name that you'll be pointing to your account at Happy Camper. It's very simple to do, and it's all covered in the First Things to Do video. If you need FTP access to your site, this is the information for that. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It's a fancy way of accessing your files on your account, but you have to use a separate app to do that. Most of the time, you can use the built-in file manager, which I'll show you later. Email information is here. If you have existing email accounts, you can migrate them to Happy Camper. Okay, let's log into your client area and see what's there. Click the link in the email to log into your client area. Type in your username and then your password. This is the password you chose when you signed up for your hosting account. Don't worry if you didn't write it down, just hit Forgot and you can reset it. But then write it down. Now click Login and you'll be on your dashboard of your client area. Your dashboard has all the general information about your account, your user information, how many services you have, your domain names you have registered with us, invoices, support tickets. If you want to add two-factor authentication, you set it up by clicking your name here and then come down to Security Settings and then click here to enable. When you click Get Started, you're going to get the QR code. You just have to download the Google Authenticator app for your phone. Before you actually do the setup, take a screenshot of the QR code. It will serve as a backup in case you ever lose your backup codes or something goes wrong with the app on your phone. Now, regarding the domain names, these are only domain names that are actually registered with us or transferred to us. If your domain names are still registered somewhere else, like GoDaddy or Google Domains, they won't show up here, and you'll have to manage them on their sites. Below this are your active services with the associated domain name and their status, and links to manage them or log into your Plesk Control Panel. Plesk is the brand name of the control panel we use at Happy Camper Web Hosting. Another popular control panel is called cPanel. Control means to adjust or change a setting, and panel is a surface with switches or dials on it used to control or get information about the operation of a machine. So on the internet, a control panel is a web-based interface that allows you to manage your services, like setting up a new email account or managing your WordPress site. The great thing about your Plesk Control Panel is that it's not complicated and it's very simple to use. We'll go more in depth on the Plesk Control Panel in just a minute. If you click Manage, you'll see a detailed view about that service. This area shows the status of your service and your disk usage and bandwidth usage. Bandwidth is the amount of information that is being sent from your website to the world. Your bandwidth usage is reset monthly. The quick shortcuts take you to that specific area of your Plesk Control Panel. Below the quick shortcuts is your billing information and domain information. Under Actions, you can log into Plesk and change your Plesk password. Just remember, changing your password here does not change it for your main client login, only the Plesk Control Panel. If we go back to the dashboard, you'll see other menu options along the left column, Services shows you your current service, and clicking on a service takes you to the details about that service, which we just saw. Domains allows you to manage the domains you have registered with us. Here, you can renew your domain when you want to. All domains are automatically set to auto-renew, so this is just to renew early or for more years. Over here is the list of your domains. If you click on the domain name, it'll take you to the website. If you move over a little and click anywhere in here or on Manage in the drop-down, you'll be taken to a details screen for that domain name. This shows you the current registration information, the next due date, the amount. This shows your SSL status. SSL is the web security. Change the name servers your domain points to. This is for pointing a domain you have registered with us to somewhere else. Update the WHOIS contact information for your domain. WHOIS is a way of accessing the contact information for a particular domain. It was created back in 1982, and it essentially shows you who is responsible for a domain. If you have privacy protection, or sometimes called ID protection, your information is not shown. You're required to provide accurate contact details for your domain, so if your address changes, you would update that here. You'll see these 4 sections for information: registrant, admin, tech, and billing. Most of the time it's the same information for all 4, but larger companies will have different contact information for the different departments. It should already be filled in with your account information. Back on the overview page, change the registrar lock status for your domain. This is domain locking that you may have heard about. When you click on it, you'll see it's just a simple switch to lock or unlock your domain. This is another layer of protection to keep your domain from being transferred away without your authorization. You should always keep this set to on. And then renew your domain is the same as we saw earlier. On the left, auto renew just enables or disables the auto renew feature. It's best to leave this on so you don't forget to renew your domain and potentially lose it. Name servers is the same that we saw earlier. Registrar lock, we just saw that as well. Add-ons shows you additional features, in this case the ID protection. You can disable it here if you need to. Contact information is the WHOIS information that we just went over. Private name servers lets you set up your own personal name servers if you're technically inclined and have a need for that. The EPP code, or sometimes called authorization code, is basically a password for your domain name. If you were transferring your domain name to Happy Camper, you'd need this EPP code from your original registrar before it could be released and transferred to us. This link takes you to a page to register a new domain name with us. We have a huge selection of domain name extensions at great prices. You can browse them here, and then you can click here to group them by category like popular or business. If you want to keep everything in one place, you can transfer your existing domain to us. Clients have told us that they prefer having everything under one roof, their web hosting and domain registrations, so it's easier to keep track of and to manage. In the billing section, you can view your invoices, update your credit card information, or add funds to your account for use at a later date. All right, let's move over to the Plesk Control Panel. There are several ways to get there. One is by clicking on the dashboard and then log in to Plesk. Another is to go to the details of your services and click Log into Plesk here, or on any of these quick shortcuts. And if you remember from your welcome email, there is a direct link to your Plesk Control Panel. So when you click it, you'll be taken to a login screen where you enter your credentials from the email, and then you're in. This is your Plesk Control Panel. This is where you'll set up email accounts, manage your WordPress sites, do backups, and other technical stuff. At first glance, it may look like a lot, but the majority of this you won't have to touch, and I'm only going to go over the basics to give you a good overview. On the right is a little submenu that you can pop out by clicking this icon. Let's start with websites and domains. The Websites and Domains section has the majority of the settings that you'll need. This is a little thumbnail of your site. This shows you how much space you're using and your bandwidth. You can look at your web stats here. Use your Plesk login info for that, which is in your email. This is the file manager that I was mentioning earlier. It's a very easy way to access the core files of your site and is generally easier and simpler than using an FTP program. And to get back to the main window, anytime you see your domain name here, you can just click on that and it'll take you back to the main area. You can also get to your file manager by clicking Files over here. Moving on, let's look at Backup and Restore. Backup and restore is extremely important, and just know that this is one of the most important functions of your account, and it's one that gets overlooked the most. We back up everything nightly and keep the backups for 30 days, but you also have the option to do your own scheduled off-site backups. You set that up in the remote storage settings here. Off-site means it's in a separate location from your hosting package and on a completely separate computer. So if something ever should happen, you'll have those backup files to restore from. You can back up your files to Dropbox, Google Drive, Amazon, Microsoft One, and you can set up scheduled backups so your site gets backed up every day if you want. If you don't have Dropbox or Google Drive, we'll show you how to set up free accounts that will give you plenty of space for your backups. This should be one of the first things you set up. Website importing is where you would migrate your previous website over to Happy Camper. It will import WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, PrestaShop, and Magento sites. It will also bring over your email accounts at the same time. Another great feature in this section is the WordPress Toolkit, which is here, and you can also get to it from this link here. WordPress Toolkit is included with every WordPress site you set up and has a ton of great features that allow you to manage your WordPress site without having to log into WordPress. Across the top, if you hover over each one of these, you'll see what they do. Install a new WordPress site, import your existing WordPress site from another host, check for updates, check your security. Under the thumbnail is a login button. You can use this to log directly into WordPress. To find your WordPress login credentials, click Setup. Here you'll see the direct link to log directly into WordPress and your administrator username and password. Click the eye to reveal the password. From here, you can change the administrator password and the administrator's email address. Manage Domain takes you out of WordPress Toolkit and back to the main screen. Back in the WordPress Toolkit, you can quickly see the version of WordPress, if your plugins and themes are up to date, security status, PHP version, and SSL status. Under Tools, you can switch on or off whether or not you want search engines to index your site. If you're just creating your site now, I would turn this off so the search engines don't index a bad or an incomplete page. Because every server at Happy Camper runs on the extremely fast and efficient LiteSpeed server, this caching switch won't have any effect. LiteSpeed also comes with its own caching plugin, which is automatically installed for you. Once you're in WordPress, all you have to do is click on LiteSpeed Cache and then Presets. Click the Essentials preset. Click OK and let it back up your current settings, and you're good to go. The other presets work well, but you need to sign up for their service. Back in WordPress Toolkit, clicking on the question mark gives you a description of what each feature does, and this icon lets you adjust its settings. Down here you can check for updates, set auto update settings, and turn on Smart Update. Every site on Happy Camper gets Smart Update for free. To keep your website secure, you need to keep your WordPress themes, plugins, and core files updated. However, these updates can potentially break your website. Smart Update basically makes your site unbreakable due to bad updates. Over to the right, you can check your WordPress integrity. This will verify no files are corrupt, and you can reinstall just the core files if you need to. And then maintenance mode. If you're designing your site and you don't want people to see it yet, you can activate maintenance mode. You can click on the settings icon to customize the maintenance mode. You can even add a countdown timer and social media links in preparation for your big launch. File Manager does the same thing as clicking Files here. Clone lets you create a duplicate of your site to a subdomain. This is often called a staging site and lets you do modifications to a site without interrupting the main site, and then apply those changes to your main site when you're ready by clicking Copy Data. Okay, let's jump to Mail. This is where you'll add new email addresses for your domain name. Creating email addresses is very simple. Just click Create Email Address and enter the new email and a password, and then click OK. You can have Plesk generate a password for you and then click Show to see the password so you can copy it and save it in a secure location. You can also set up forwarding, auto reply, and adjust your spam settings for that email address. Once your new email address has been created, you can look at the setup information here. If you don't want to use a mail app or don't have access to one, you can access your email through your web browser. This is called Webmail. The address is webmail.yourdomainname.com. So in our test case, it would be webmail.gohappycamper.com. Then just enter in the email address and password, and you're in. You can very easily import your existing email to your account at Happy Camper. Just click Mail Importing and then Import Mail Messages. Enter the source email and password and choose where to import the mail, to a new mailbox or an existing mailbox. Applications shows you what you have installed on your account. In this case, it's one WordPress site. Files is the file manager that you saw earlier. Databases you won't have to worry about unless you're technically inclined. Otherwise, don't change anything here. Statistics shows you how your resources are used. Users lets you set up additional users to access your account. Account shows you information about your account. WordPress gets you to the WordPress toolkit that we went over earlier. And Softaculous gives you access to over 400 web apps that you can use. Even though you can install WordPress from here, from Softaculous, it's not recommended. Use the WordPress toolkit for that one. It's far more robust and you won't run into conflicts. On the right side pop-out menu, we went over Backup and Restore. Softaculous we just looked at. This is the WordPress manager for Softaculous. That was what I was mentioning to not use for WordPress. Use this one, which is the WordPress toolkit. Google Authenticator lets you set up two-factor authentication. If you choose to set this up, I highly recommend you take a picture of the QR code with your phone to have it as a backup. I had a client who upgraded his phone and ended up losing all of his login tokens and so was basically locked out of everything. So take a picture of it before you set it up. Immunify 360 is our security suite. In addition to the real-time malware scanning and proactive defense, Immunify 360 has invisible CAPTCHA set up for every website, so you don't need a separate plugin for that. CAPTCHA is a Google product that determines if a user is human or not. SpeedKit is also included free on every website at Happy Camper. SpeedKit accelerates content delivery. This means your pages will load extremely fast no matter where they are in the world. To turn it on, click the link and SpeedKit will start analyzing your site. When it's done, it'll give you an indication of how much faster your site will be with SpeedKit activated. To activate, just click the Activate button. The combination of LiteSpeed caching and SpeedKit gives you an extremely fast site. A recent test of our main website shows a huge improvement when using LiteSpeed with SpeedKit. Alright, so that's it for the tour. Be sure to watch the First Things to Do video to make sure everything is set up, secure, and being backed up properly. Thanks for watching, and please let us know if you have any problems.